Hello, I'm Nay, and welcome to the Armbar Arcade. I've been checking out some Japanese games recently. We had Bishi Bashi Special and the Sniper 2. Now we're going to look at We Love Katamari, a game by Namco for the PlayStation 2. Yes, hello. It's quite an odd game actually. There's nothing really like it other than the other Katamari games in the series. This is the first one to be released in Europe, and we're going to dive straight into a level, hopefully. Yes, here we go. This is the king. Players play as the prince, who is that little green man down there. And the object of the game is to roll a Katamari ball and collect up things in its wake and make it as big as possible, which, I mean, sounds pretty different for a PlayStation game. So let's have a look. We are playing as the prince, like I said, and we've got 3 minutes to roll a ball of 15 centimeters, which doesn't really sound like a lot, but let's see how that goes. So yeah, we start off rolling really small things, really. So we've got a little green clip in the corner. We've got a coffee bean, some very tiny things on our ball. But as it grows larger and larger, we're able to roll up bigger and bigger items. So there we go. We've got some gyoza, soy sauce pack. This level's based on food, so most of the stuff that we're going to be rolling up is going to be food-based. But there are some sort of bonus things that you can roll up which aren't food. So there we go, we're coming down here, we've got a green dye. Obviously you wouldn't want to be eating one of those. We've got some AA battery, definitely wouldn't want to be eating one of those. Otherwise you would have some health concerns, I'd assume. So things can be found everywhere. We've got a pencil which is... well, that's made us a little bit lopsided, so we're going to have to try and fix that. Rolling up some lipstick, some thread. Not everything's edible, but there are usually themes to the levels and what you're rolling up. So we've got to 10 centimeters already, which is good. We've got about 2 minutes left to roll. As I was saying, there's not really a lot of PlayStation games or games in general where the premise is rolling things up into a big ball. It's an odd genre, but I guess it's a bit like a collect 'em up in a way, because there's lots of things that you can collect, and the more varied things you collect, I think there's a list actually somewhere in the menus of things you can collect. So if you can collect every single thing in the game, obviously that is a plus. But the balls tend to get bigger and bigger as you get through the game, and you end up sort of rolling up the world and other planets and the Eiffel Tower, landmarks and skyscrapers. But you begin at this size. Obviously we've got a 15 centimeter ball there. We've cleared the stage goal, but we carry on because we need to roll as big a ball as possible. So we're going to roll up all this thread here, all the sewing supplies. We've gone up there and rolled up some more green clips and whatnot. Now hopefully we can get to about 20 centimeters by the end. Probably not though. It's looking at about 16. Oh, we're up there. 17, 18. Trying to climb that wall, but I don't think we're going to get there. Some glue. So yeah, it's not really an edible ball anymore. It started off quite edible, but now we've got various items, including batteries and thread and things you wouldn't want to be swallowing unless someone was ready to do a Heimlich maneuver behind you. But it's a very Japanese game in its setting. Lots of sort of Japanese houses, outside places, parks and things. And a lot of Japanese items. We saw some gyoza there and some soy sauce that we collected up. And also its humour. I mean, the king in his words and manner is very off the wall in Japanese. The presentation is sort of cartoon origami sort of style, which is very nice. I enjoy that. The music is very, very good. Here's the king. He's going to judge our Katamari ball that we've just collected. He wants to eat something. Like a cream puff. But it's not a cream puff, it's a Katamari ball. I'm not sure what milk toast means, but I'm sure you can tell me in the comments. And he always says you can roll a bigger one unless it's absolutely huge. Also, we managed to collect up a cousin, which are little creatures, a little bit like the prince, who are related to him. That's the little cousin Macho. So he was making friends with the crayfish. Basically, the cousins are like little collectibles that are hidden throughout the levels. And every time you get a Katamari, it tells you what it's made up of. So we've made it up of snacks, games, and necessities mostly. So the Katamari feels snacks-ish. Not that he understands what snacks-ish means. So yeah, she's telling us that our Katamari ball was quite small, which is kind of rude, considering that she asked us to roll it. Anyway, they pop all the Katamari up into the cosmos because it needs to be repopulated after it was, I think, cleared of all the planets. So that Katamari is called Sticky Uranus now, which perhaps is a bit of an inappropriate name for a Katamari, but I quite enjoy that. I think the planet names are random, so you can get things like Sticky Uranus and, well, we'll see what else we can make. So here's a cutscene. The story is very off the wall and just hilarious, really. I enjoy the drama of all this Katamari. Randomness, really. Can only really be called randomness. But it's so dramatic, it's sort of film-like in its presentation. So here we've got some children in Japan. And there's one of the cousins going past them. What does it all mean? I don't know. That was quite interesting, but what did it mean? What did it mean, King? We don't know. It was an extreme storyboard, a movie. So yeah, basically each level is someone in this field asking you to roll a load of stuff up. So they'll try and grab your attention. She's just talking about the Royal Rainbow. Oh, this guy lying down. What does he want? Oh, thank you. He loves Katamari. Well, that is wonderful. I like it too. He wants to see a real Katamari, so we're going to make one for him. He wants a Katamari before he goes to bed. And that would send you to sleep, I think, rolling loads of stuff into a ball. Basically, before each level, you have to convince the king to let you go and make the Katamari. Initially, he'll be like, "What? That's ridiculous!" And of course, you'll say a few words to him, and he'll be like, "No, we must roll this Katamari." So there's another example of the sort of Japanese way of thinking when it comes to humour. So let's see what we can roll up in this room. We need a 40 centimetre Katamari within 6 minutes. So I'm going to roll down here. Hopefully there's some stuff we can collect up. I hope I haven't gone too far past the small stuff, because you need to start small and work up. There we go, a little jigsaw piece. That's good. The music in this game is also very good. There's a variety of styles, but it's all based around the Katamari Damacy theme. We can't roll up batteries just yet, which is unfortunate. We can roll up some green clips from last time, a red clip, an acorn, another acorn. Now the game's controlled with the analog sticks. You use them in conjunction with each other. So if you pull the right stick back, he starts to rotate, and the left stick works as movement, so you have to use them together really. So if I'm pushing them both left, the king will roll to his left. If I push them both forward, he's going to roll forward, and if I do sort of forward and left, he'll roll forward whilst rotating left. And it's a very intuitive control style. When you first start, you think, who thought this up, you know, why have they done this? But by the end, you're actually thinking, wow, why don't more games use this sort of a control style? Because you control the camera and the movement together, really. It's not a separate way of thinking. So we're going to flip behind the ball there and go up here and hope to find some things we can collect. It's really just an exploration mission. Most parts of the game, you know, you're looking for new things to roll up. I don't know if we can't get up this ramp. I'd really like to. There we go. Up, 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 up. Today is indeed the 18th of the 2nd, 2017. So if this video goes out in a few weeks, I apologise, but I'm busy recording new stuff. We like to keep ourselves a little bit ahead here on the Armbar arcade because, you know, things get in the way of recording, and even you want to miss out on your Friday Armbar arcade, or Tuesday, or whenever this goes up. So we're picking up some magnets now. How do they work? By magnetism, presumably. There we go, we've got a diamond ring. So that's, wow, that's a valuable thing to collect. I'm not sure how this is related to being a bedtime Katamari. That was the premise, as described by the guy in the field wanting our help, but we are collecting a ton of things. We need 20 centimeters to get over that little barrier, so not too much more. A few more magnets and mosquito something. Should do 0.7 centimeters needed to advance. Come on, tiny bit more. That's the one. So it's going to pause and just show us that we can go outside. It's actually loading the area that we can go into, because obviously there's only so much that the PS2 can load at one time. So here we go. Now we can go over this little barrier. Now we need 40 centimeters. We've had half the time. What tends to happen though it's important to collect these barriers because they're quite good for making the Katamari bigger. What tends to happen is that the Katamari gets exponentially bigger as time goes on. So the longer you've got, usually the second half, I can't see anything, the second half of the run will make for more width, more of a diameter on the ball than the first half of the run, generally because you're picking up bigger and bigger things, so that makes sense. So we've got about 3 minutes here just to pick up the rest of the stuff. But there's not a lot we can pick up out here actually, so maybe we're going to see if we can pick up some of these. There's a little animal there, I think. There's a frog. Can we collect a frog? We've got a frog. We've got a poisonous frog, which in retrospect probably wasn't the best thing to pick up. If you hit bigger things, they can knock you off the other way if they're moving as well, so you've got to be careful of that if you're heading for a cat or one of these creatures that move about. But if you get big enough, eventually you can pick up the cat as well, which obviously is quite satisfying. So yeah, there's lots of different things. I mean, we've picked up a castanet there, some sandwiches. It's a fun game. I mean, it can get repetitive if you're the sort of person that doesn't like doing things over and over again. Obviously, collecting stuff in a big ball several times may not be your scene, but there's such a great variety of things to collect, and it's just such a fun little game that I don't think anyone could truly hate it. You could be indifferent towards Katamari games, but personally I just think the off-the-wall humour, the amount of things you can collect, the epic sort of storyline that's just so silly at the same time, and the variety of things. You know, the environments, some of them are repeated, granted, but you know, it's always in a different setting, and you know, there's a zoo where you can collect lots of different animals up, and just the scale as it progresses is hilarious to see yourself collecting, you know, the Eiffel Tower and big buildings and eventually the Earth, and it's such a fun progression. I really do like this game, and I thought it was about time that, you know, we showcase some really good Japanese games on this channel rather than just the Sniper 2. I mean, Bishi Bashi is a very good game as well, but for me this is a sort of true Japanese classic that, you know, is perhaps a little bit weird to the Western world. We don't really understand the vibe that they're going for, but the parts of the humour that don't go over our head are wonderful, and, you know, the general randomness of just collecting things up in a big ball for fun is great. So once again, the king is going to rate our Katamari, see what he thinks of it. He will probably think it wasn't very big because it was just over the target goal. You can get about double the target most of the time, but you need a really good start, you know, just to collect up some of the smallest stuff and then keep progressing to the bigger and bigger stuff in the time limit. So there's a Katamari here. Amazing. Amazingly small. He's always a bit rude about your Katamari rules. The ultimate in smallness. Thank you, King. I really appreciate that. Oh, we found a present. I didn't notice that. We got a camera as a present, so that's another little collectible to keep the game replayable. If you keep going through all of the levels, you can find all the cousins and collectibles. Now this one was made out of necessities, drinks and stationery, so that was a different mix of things. Yeah, the guy is pretty rude about it as well, so we're gonna throw it into the cosmos. I mean, they give it to you no matter how big it is. I mean, this is becoming quite an innuendo-filled video with balls and small Katamari, big Katamari, and of course sticky Uranus. This one's Familiar Neptune, which is hopefully less innuendo-filled. I can't think of an innuendo involving Familiar Neptune, luckily. If only Adam were here. So I'm going to try one more level just to get you into the swing of We Love Katamari. It's quite a difficult game to find these days because obviously it was released in Europe, but there weren't any others in the series that people could go out and get, so it wasn't like it was easy to find. If you only really know about it if you've heard of Katamari Damacy. There was a PSP game as well, and I think there's a phone game for Katamari, but over here there's not really a lot to play if you're a Katamari Damacy fan. So now we've got to clean this guy's room, which is probably the only useful thing you can do with the Katamari ball that sticks to everything. I wish I had a Katamari ball to clean my room, but instead I'm just playing this. So here we go, we're going to clean up the miniature universe, which is a kid's room. Sometimes the king there on the loading screen says more interesting stuff than just zzz. It's interesting to read all the things he has to say. So we've got 100 things to collect. So we've got to collect 100 objects. So this is a little bit of a different goal. It's not size based, but it is time based. It's sort of a time trial to collect 100 objects in the room. So there's things of various sizes, so we've got to make sure we collect them in order. We've rolled up a cousin, so that's that weird caterpillar on the Katamari screen will turn out to be a cousin. So that's another collectible. We've done well there. Hopefully we can collect some large things. Like the pencils are very useful because obviously they're quite big in diameter, so they add to what we can collect up. He's got a lot of things in his room though. He's got sticky tape, a toy capsule, castanets. Why has he got castanets in his room? Was he practicing the castanets, I suppose? Maybe he plays the castanets. Strange percussion instrument to pick up, but you know. There's some toy train track down there, but I can't quite pick it up yet. We're not big enough for that. We've got 31 objects remaining. Now we can pick up the toy train track. We've got quite big enough to do that. So we should be able now quite easily to get the last 24 objects. I say that, we've made it into a very strange shape, so it's not rolling very well. Now if I know I could find that little ramp. Yes, there it is, it's his skateboard. If we go back up the ramp, there should be some little stuff at the top that we can just... That's it. 14 objects remaining. And we got a present, so that'll be interesting to find out what the present is as well. Once we've collected the last 11 objects. 8 objects remaining. We're running out of objects really in his room. I think we have pretty much tidied it. That is one of the bits of challenges of this level is obviously there's only a limited amount of things. You've got 100 things to pick up, so once you find all 100 things, there's not a lot left at the end. Luckily there's not something like 1 left, because if it was just 1 we might not be able to find it. But 6 is just as bad here, because 5... No, we can pick that up. So there's only 4 things left to find. But I don't know where they are. So I did think this level was going to be a breeze, but I might have to reassess my assessment of this level. Let's jump around the other side. What can we pick up? 3 objects remaining. I can't see anything else though. There's some things. 1, 2. No, there's 1 item left. We've got to go on a mad search. I'd assume it's on the floor. The floor's the biggest area in the level. But I don't know where it could be. Where haven't we looked? We've been all over the place. It's a mystery for the ages. I assume he's going to berate us on how slowly... There it is! We've completed this level, because they berate you on how small your Katamari is usually. It's pretty clean. So let's go home and throw this Katamari into the cosmos. There we go. What does the king think? It is indeed all cleaned up. Your kid's room is shining and neat. Yes? No, it's not cleaned up, kind of. I completely cleaned it. I thought he'd tell us we were slow. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look at the present. It's an antenna. So I think you can wear him. We got a camera last time you can wear around your neck, and you can wear the antenna on top of the prince, on top of his antenna. And we found Cousin L'Amour. He's a French guy. So we're going to chuck this Katamari into the cosmos and name it. That one is called the Untidy Planet, fittingly. And yeah, that is We Love Katamari, where you roll lots of Katamari balls of various composition. And you work your way through the epic story, which makes little to no sense, but is entertaining. Very Japanese, very random. I love it. You know, I love all things Japanese, really, especially in gaming. So we're going to be checking out some more Japanese games as time rolls on. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.